can get started here. Just post a link. All right. Let me open up our chat here and see. What questions you want me to do? Somebody asked about putting unlimited attempts. I will change that so you have unlimited attempts. Just give me a second after I do this. All right, so question 5. All right. Yeah, if you have questions, put them in this chat, our Google chat, so it comes by faster. Okay. All right, so let's go over this, huh? All right, so question 5. Find the area of this sector. Okay, let's add some notes here. All right, to find the area of the sector, we're going to take the area of the entire circle, and then we're going to multiply that by the fraction of this sector. Okay, so this sector has a arc of 40 degrees. So I'm going to take 40, and I'm going to divide that out of 360. Okay, that's going to give me a fraction of my area. So to find the area, you do pi radius squared. My radius is 15, so I'm going to do 15 squared. All right, I'm going to do some simplifying here. 40 over 360 is 4 over 36, which is 1 over 9. Boop. Okay, and then 15 squared is 225. Okay, so now I'm going to combine all of this together. We're going to go 225 over 9 times, we have a pi left over, and that's our answer. And then how many times does 9 go into 225? Hold on a second. How did I mess this up? Oh yeah. 9 goes into 25, 225, 25 times. There we go. Okay. So that's how we get 25 pi. Boom. Got to get my calculator out here. All right, let's keep going. Next question. Pull up the chat. Number 8 and 9. Yeah, 8 and 9. Okay. And I will make the attempts unlimited, so don't worry about that. Okay, number 8. This is probably the toughest one from this lesson. Area. And then we're going to subtract the triangle. Okay? So I need to figure out what this sector area is. Okay, and so we're going to do that arc over 360 times pi r squared. And then I'm going to subtract the area of the triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. Okay? Okay, so we're going to take this guy, and I need to figure out what this arc is. Okay? And so if this is 240 around here, this arc is going to have a measure of 360 minus 240, which is 120. Okay? So, to start off, I have 120 over 360, and then I'm going to multiply that by the area, which is pi r squared. So pi 5 squared. Okay? And now I'm going to subtract the area of this triangle. Now, we know that this is 120. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this triangle, I'm going to flip it over so it looks like this. And so we know that this angle here is 120. Okay? And we know that the radius, which is this side, is 5. Okay? So now, let's create a height, because I need a height for this. Okay? And so now I know that the height is, this is going to be 60. This is a right angle. This is going to be 30. So I have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay? Now with a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the hypotenuse is twice the size of this short leg. So I'm going to divide this by 2, and I get 2.5. Okay? Then I know that this guy here is just going to take the smaller guy, and I'm going to multiply it by square root 3. Okay? Which means my entire base is going to be 2 of those. So 2.5 plus 2.5 is 5 square root 3. Okay? So I have my height, I have my base, and to find the area of this triangle, we're going to do 1/2 base times height. So I'm going to do 1/2 base, which is 5 square root 3, and the height, which was 2.5. Okay? Now we can plug all of this into our calculator. So let me get a calculator. Move this over. And let's type all of this in. So we're going to do, okay, watch how I do the parentheses here. I'm going to do 120 divided by 360 times pi, and then the radius was 5 squared, and close the parentheses. So that's going to be the area of the sector, and then I'm going to subtract 1/2. I can actually write 0.5. And I'm going to do 5 square root 3. Oops, let me fix that. 5 square root 3. And then the height is 2.5. Alright, so that should give me my answer, which is 15.53. Alright, I'll bring this back up so you can see my calculator again. Okay. So 15.53, round to the nearest tenth, that's how we get 15.4. Alright, Let's do another one. You wanted to do number 9. Number 9 is a similar question. Find the area of the shaded region. So this time, what we're doing is we're going to find the area of this sector, and then we're going to add the triangle. So we're going to find the area of this sector and then add this triangle, okay? So to find the area of this sector, that's a bad drawing, sorry. Okay, so to find the area of this sector, I need to find the measure of this angle. So to find the measure of that, we're just going to do 360 minus 120, which gives me 240. So this arc is 240. So the area of that sector is going to be 240 over 360, and then we're going to multiply by area, so pi r squared. Pi radius squared, 6 squared. Okay? Then we are going to add this triangle. Okay? All right, so we're going to do something similar. We're going to break out this triangle. Boop, boop. You're going to find the height of it. So that's, I'm trying to find this part here. Okay? And so we know that this is 6. This is 120. So we have another 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if that's 30, 60, 90, the long piece is here. The short one is half of this 6. So that's going to be 3. And then this part here is going to be 3 square root 3, which gives me 6 square root 3 for the base, because I have 2 of them. Okay? So we're going to do the triangle. We're going to do 1/2 base, 6 square root 3, and the height, which is 3. Now this is interesting. It says to simplify your answer, use integers and whatnot. Okay? So if we're going to simplify it, I need to go through all of this and get this, so it's something with a pi, and this, which is something with a square root 3. Now it's not too bad. 240 over 36. Actually, you know what we can do? This is being even easier. This 6 squared is 36, right? So how many times does 36 go into 360? 10. So now I have 240, this is gone, I have 240 over 10, which means we have 24 pi here. Okay? Over here I have half of 6, which is 3, and 3 times 3 is 9 square root 3. All good? And of course we're dealing with area. This is our final answer, by the way. We're dealing with area, and area is always going to be in squares, so square centimeters. All right. Let me find the next problem. So 8, 9. So I said 8, 9. Okay, 14. Number 14. Scroll up here. Okay. All right. There's a tricky one. Okay, somebody asked how I went from 240 over 3060 to 24 pi. Let me go back. Okay. So how I went from here, I had you can just type if you want, if you don't, if you have trouble. So I had oops, I do this. We had 24 240 over 360 times pi 6 squared. Now, if you want, go ahead and just type in 240 over 360 into your calculator and then multiply that by 6 squared, and the calculator will give you 24. I just did like a crazy simplifying way here to make that work. Okay, so I hope that helps. All right, I'm going to move up to number 14. And this one is just like those other ones. It takes it a step further. okay? So we need to do same process. I'm going to find the area of this sector, and then I'm going to subtract the area of the triangle. Okay? And by doing that, that will leave me with just this little sliver here. Okay, so finding the area of the sector, that's not too bad. We're going to do 75 over 360 times area, so pi 3 squared. Okay? Then we're going to subtract this triangle. Now, this is 75 degrees. It's the same as this. Now, I'm going to blow up this triangle. This is 75 degrees. I need the height of this triangle. Now, if this whole thing is 75, each of these is going to be 75 divided by 2, which is 37.5. That 37.5 is the number I'm going to use to find the height and the base using trigonometry. Okay? So, let's find the height first. So we're going to do 37.5. I need to figure out which ratio I'm going to use. So I have adjacent to this angle and hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse, let's see, SOHCAHTOA. Okay, adjacent and hypotenuse means we're going to use ka, which is cosine. So we're going to say cosine of 37.5 is equal to adjacent x over hypotenuse 3. We're going to solve for x by multiplying both sides by 3, and I'm just going to leave this. X equals 3 times cosine 37.5. All right? Now we're going to find the base of this triangle. The base of this triangle is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse is sine. So we're going to do sine of 37.5 equals y over 3. And just like this one, we're going to multiply both sides by 3. So I have y equals 3 times sine 37.5. But that's only for this half, right? If I need to do both of them, I'm going to just multiply this by 2. So technically our base is 6 times sine 37.5. Okay? Now this is going to look weird when I write this in here. We're going to do the area of this triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. So I'm going to do 1/2 the base, 6 times sine 37.5. And then I'm going to do the height, which was 3 cosine 37.5. Okay? And so I'm going to take all of this and plug it into my calculator. Okay? All right, this is going to be a long one. Here we go. 75 divided by 360 times pi 3 squared. So that's the area of the sector. Minus 1/2, which is 0.5. 6 times sine 37.5. That's the base. Double parentheses to close that one. And then 3 times cosine 37.5. Okay, type that all in, hit enter, let's see what we get. 6.7355. Okay. Let me double check that I did everything right. It says it's 1.5. Did I mess up? Let's see. Area of the sector. 7 pi r squared. Okay. Area of this triangle. 37.5. Sine. So 1/2 base times height. Looks. We are grinding. Now we are. All right, I need to go back here and try to figure out where I went wrong. But anyways, I only have on your test one of these questions, and it most resembles this one here, okay? Number 8. But I'll come back to this one and try to figure out what happened. It was doing it too fast. But are there any other questions before I go? Any of these other ones? No? Any questions? All right. Again, I'll redo this one a little bit. You guys should go. I think class is pretty much over. So we'll talk again soon. There's links on YouTube for your study guide. So if you're working on your study guide, you can check out the links on how to do those questions. Again, use the chat or Google chat to ask me whatever other questions you have. And plan here is to get that study guide done. When you're finished with that, please work on the test, and we'll have the test turned in by Monday morning, 8 o'clock. After that, you get no credit for it, okay? All right, everybody, take care. We will talk soon. Be safe. You don't have to like the video. Don't listen to Mitchell.